As we went through 1 Corinthians 3 last week, I challenged you to see yourself as a minister of the gospel, and that we, as followers of Christ, if we follow Jesus, if we are believers in Christ, then we're ministers. And so that's going to continue this week as we get into 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and we're going to talk about gospel ministers and really continue that theme of this gospel ministry that we're all called to. And I'm going to challenge you to really think about the fact that every member of the church, every church member who, of course, means is a follower of Christ, is to do the work of the ministry. A lot of times we think of ministry and we think of that call to ministry and we think, well, that's for pastors, that's for those who are paid by the church, and that's vocational ministry, and that's an additional calling. I think that some are called, very few are called to vocational ministry, but as believers in Christ, we're all called to do the work of the ministry. And so we're going to talk about that on Sundays. We look at those first 5 verses of 1 Corinthians 4, and I hope that you'll think about that, because we're going to talk about a couple of expectations for gospel ministers, for ministers of the gospel. What's expected of us if we follow Christ, if we are fulfilling the calling that we see in His Word for how to live our lives and how to do the work that He's called us to, then what's expected of us. So we're going to see that on Sunday morning. I want to encourage you to read 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and really focus on those first 5 verses, which is what we'll be looking at on Sunday morning as we kind of conclude this section on the gospel before we get into some cures for division in the church, which again, the gospel really solves our division problem if we look at it rightly and if we do the work of the ministry together. So hope you'll join us Sunday morning at 9 o'clock for our prayer gathering, at 9:30 for family groups, and then at 10:40 for our worship celebration. And then church members, we have a members meeting after that. And then Sunday evening, of course, we have Trail Life for elementary, middle school, and high school boys and their parents. And so we're looking forward to that as well. So look forward to seeing you Sunday. Be in prayer, and let's be together in this work of the ministry.